I've clicked the live button.
Why not?
Let's see if we're actually live.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There we are.
that is us.
I don't see a. What are you looking at? Are you looking at YouTube or are you looking at?
I'm on
Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Weird. It doesn't actually show it to me on Twitch.
Well, you be talking.
Get the YouTube notification.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. It's wherever you want. And we are live.
That's it.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a different situation here tonight. Ryan's computer ate itself according to him. If you want to know the details, that's just, I don't think we can even go over that. It's
That's on
pretty brutal.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's not cool. Don't ask any questions, but we are live. Another episode of your Slightly Average Guys podcast on your Tuesday nights now at 8 o'clock, roughly, plus or minus 5. So we appreciate you being here, and we'll kick this thing off.
All right. So we're going to jump into it this week with a zinger of a question. I'm interested to see how many of them that we all have exactly in common. And that is, what are your top 5 hottest cartoon characters? And this could be what you think today or what you thought as a kid. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to throw one out to start off with, and it might not be on Ryan's, but I can guarantee you it's on Andy's. Jessica Rabbit.
Okay.
Jessica Rabbit probably guarantee you it's on all of our lists. Ryan, is it on yours?
No, because she was designed that way. So I think it's kind of cheating.
Okay. So go first. I need to hear
are you talking about like if I'm
her name, it's in the name, like it's in the name, so it's kind of cheating.
Jessica Rabbit, that's in her name.
I thought it was like some sexy rabbit or something like that.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm lost with your statement, but okay, go ahead, Ryan. Like you kick it off since you're the young one. Let's go through your list and tell me how you're feeling about this.
Well, I'm a big American Dad.
Okay.
And Family Guy, and you can name both of the female characters in that one. They're pretty solid.
So you have a thing for Meg, is what you're trying to tell me?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Totally off. I think I would get shot and killed by pretty much anybody in the audience who might have heard that statement. We all know how much Meg is hated. So Francine, and honestly, I forgot the other one's name.
Lois.
Yeah, Lois. Yeah, if we're talking about the mom, like I would totally agree with you on the mom. Like the mom,
I almost
hardcore.
added her to my list.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I don't know, maybe I won't put it on there, but
those are my two like cartoon shows, like adult cartoon shows that if they're on, I put them on. There's no question. Whether I'm actually watching it or not is a different story.
Okay.
But then if we're going like kid cartoons from back in the day, Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. And Jasmine.
Princess Jasmine.
Yep.
Princess Jasmine.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's on my list too.
Yeah, hands down, Jasmine, absolute. From whether I'm a kid, whether I'm an adult, that one definitely happened. That's actually my number one on my list was Jasmine, and I don't know if I necessarily have them ranked in that order or whatever. I'm just saying that was like the first one that came to my mind outside of Jessica Rabbit. Right, so you've gotten one. We talked about Jessica Rabbit. You're weird. So I got at least 2 in common on with Andy. So Andy, how about you go?
Okay, so this was interesting. Jessica Rabbit, Jasmine, April O'Neil from the original Ninja Turtle cartoon.
Okay,
in the all yellow jumpsuit. Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't even put that one together. That one didn't even come up. I know we were both looking at, or we were all looking at some lists beforehand, but I can see that.
I'm gonna go weird. I'm gonna go Eon Flux. Do you remember that show? That
cartoon?
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah. Yes, I would totally agree with that statement. Again, another one that I hadn't even thought of, but would totally agree with.
Because she's a freak, so I'll give it a shot. I'll take a run at that.
And then
the last one is probably going to be a little odd, but I think it's a must, and it's Smurfette.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Is that because um you like a
Blondes.
lot of dudes on one chick? Is you just like the
Yeah.
sausage fest? Is that what we're trying to get at here, or we just going straight to, hey, you like
You know,
a little blonde girl that's a little blue,
sure.
melancholy?
I definitely think, being in the environment that she's in, she knows what she's doing.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. She knows what she's doing.
Wow.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so I had to Google 2 of those.
Okay.
And I Googled the Smurf just because it's been forever. So I had to Google that one. I knew who she was, but yeah, I had to Google the other 2. I was like, that's
So-
my bad.
I like those. I like those. Those you were throwing out some ones that were completely, not even on my radar, but I would definitely agree
totally
with.
different. Applaud for
Yeah.
sure.
Some I could see an honorable mention on your list being Marge Simpson, because that
Awesome.
just the smoker talk, it just, hey, thank you for calling.
I struggled with the girls from Scooby Doo. Right, you got
okay.
Daphne and Velma, but ultimately, I'm pretty set on my list. I think it's solid.
I thought you were gonna say the squirrel from SpongeBob.
Listen, that little spacesuit she wears,
Yeah.
man, I don't know.
It's like you're like, hey,
bikini.
yeah, it's bikini bottom. It doesn't talk about no bikini top. So I mean, I can see where you're at with it. All right. So done Jessica Rabbit, done Jasmine from Aladdin. All right. Let me throw out some other ones. One that I just assumed would be on everybody's list was Lara Croft, because if you did not play Tomb Raider as a kid and have a thing for whoever programmed this character, I don't know what you were doing with your life. You must have just not been into video games at all, which is okay.
Jeez.
Those 8-bit cone boobies.
Well, is it the 8-bit ones or is it the new like video game looking ones?
It doesn't matter. It's that character, because Jasmine's been redone over and over again, and it's still good. So I'm just saying, it's very, 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 very high on my list. Lola Bunny from Space Jam. So she was the sexy little bunny that I think wasn't she like taken out of the newest one or something like that because of something?
No, they just put a full-size jersey on her.
Oh, okay.
Stupid.
See, I have not seen any bit of that new movie.
I forbid it for anybody to watch it.
Well, it's like, why are we remaking or adding on to sequels to movies that shouldn't be having sequels to it? Like, the other one but I don't think anybody wants to watch them. Like, it tanked like crazy for Space Jam 2. The other one was like, it popped up on my Roku the other day that, hey, they remade Home Alone. I'm like, how do you remake Home Alone? I'm like, everybody has a phone now. All you got to do is like, oh, Mom, I'm at my house and nobody's here. Oh, we're at the airport. Hang on, I'll be back in 20 minutes, or I'm having an Uber come pick you up. It's like, was the movie 5 minutes long? CPS just shows up now. It's just quick, and now it's his whole journey through Child Protective Services. I feel like you could really, I think you could have gone a different way with that show. Maybe I should watch it. All right, let's do my last one here. So, Jasmine, Jessica, Lara Croft, Lola Bunny, Veronica Lodge from Archie. All right.
Okay.
And I know we're not supposed to go into the human characters of these, because almost all of these shows have had a video or TV show, a movie or TV show put with actual humans. But you could just throw in the human too that's on Riverdale. That's Veronica Lodge, because she is smoking, like just amazing, just nuts. So that kind of jaded, just weighted my my thoughts on this one, but it still holds true.
I'm surprised you even watched that, Riverdale.
Oh, personally, I don't. My wife does. So that's how I got into that. Let's just say that. Thankfully, she actually hasn't watched the last season or 2, so I haven't had to like binge watch it when it shows up on Netflix.
It is terrible.
Yeah, like the first season wasn't too bad, and then it's it's like a lot of TV shows, right? You get into that point where it's like, hey, we have this really good idea to write this really good storyline, and then it starts to kind of crumble, and then it's like, oh, Lost is a perfect example. We're like 4
Yeah.
seasons in. What do we do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's make a
That
time
is
warp.
legit another topic that we need to talk about. Shows that you watch only because your spouse watches them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I've seen.
I feel like that'd be pretty good.
Yes, and I'll just
Do you
say,
guys see what's on behind me at all? Maybe just a little bit.
I can't tell what it is, but is
Can
it
only
like
imagine the
Great
nonsense.
Real Housewives of the UK or what?
It's funny that that was on before. Yes.
Mine. My wife's always into like just wants the mindless show, so thankfully she doesn't watch one of those. But she puts on like the Great British Bake Off, which like British humor's fun, like weird because it's just like really dry. But that show is totally British related because it's not. It doesn't have any drama or anything else to it. It's just straight, to the point. It's like, okay, you're gonna bake this, and it's like exactly how they're baking it, not some crazy weird challenge where like a whole bunch of slime drops from the roof to just jazz up the show or whatnot. But
Yeah, the whole show is very dry, just like their food.
yeah,
Oh boy.
don't even. But they have some weird concoctions too. They're like, we're gonna put sausage and chicken into this, weird crumpet, and McLovin's in the chat. I know she's always eating those things because her and her mom are 99.9%, the lollipop gill. So it's
Yeah.
just happens. We represent. Anyway, we are off on a great tangent. Let's jump back to actually what the second topic was, which is the order of things.
Yeah.
Right. And we could potentially switch up the order of things on whatever we're talking about, movies, different ideas and stuff. Like Andy, you had a really good one
Mhm.
with a potential movie idea. Why don't you explain to us what your idea was?
Yeah. So rather than watching the point of view that I guess I should say, I watch a movie from, if I were in it, that's like my experience, right? So if I were to be in this, so rather than that, what if it was from the other point where like the villain, or so great example is zombies. What if the Walking Dead had a different version where it was just these zombies that are like, I'm just trying to live, man, and these freaking people keep shooting me, stabbing everybody in the head and blowing us up. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm trying to get away from them.
So go ahead, Ryan.
I just see the zombies running after the humans, like you, the Lord and Christ your Savior, he can save you. Where are you going? I just want to introduce you to him. They're like, obviously they're like running away, shooting at him.
Gosh. Well, what about and what was it? I Love Zombies? Is that the movie with man. I can't look it up right now because my computer's like taxed at 99 to 100%. But I think it was a movie. It was like I Love Zombies that like literally followed the zombie life rather than the human life. So it's not too far off.
Yes,
it's not too far off of what you're saying. But it's about being, but it's about being misunderstood, right? So
you're right.
Yeah, but I actually like that idea, right? Like it's just like completely flip flopped, and it's like, wait, maybe I'm just misunderstood. So I need to have a better understanding. Are we talking the crazy zombies that want to eat brains, or are we just talking about like the zombies that are just like kind of like all, Day of the Dead?
It could be any, really.
Okay.
I would just like to hear from the zombies, like what's up with them. So this one says the movie's called Zombies, and it basically says the film is an oddball comedy from the perspective of the brain munching monsters. I got to imagine there's probably a couple. It can't be like the
Yeah. If I remember right, there's a weird love story in it, and spoiler alert, like the guy like starts to like have a heartbeat again. It's like the weirdest thing. It's basically just people not being loved is what turns people into zombies. I'm like, is this a metaphor? It's a metaphor for life right now? Because I could totally understand what's going on here. What's something else that could be reverse ordered? That's not necessarily a movie. You had food related. You got one?
Yeah. So the other day, Monday, I was making bowl of cereal, and I stopped and I was like, well, I'm so cereal than milk. But what if I did milk then cereal? And I'm no joke. I sat there for 5 minutes, like pondering this whole change of my life. What if I put the milk in first and then my cereal on top of it? Am I ready for this type of change to occur? And I just couldn't do it.
You're like, it's
So
yeah. I just or would it just be annoying because then it would float on top of it, right? Because like you couldn't have enough cereal, so your ratio of milk to cereal would be off because like it would instantly float versus when you pour it in.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to find out.
I
So
don't eat cereal.
so
enough.
I'm brave enough to YouTube it because YouTube has everything. This guy is literally pouring his milk first. He's a terrible pourer, by the way. Yeah, just like all sits on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be an efficient way of doing it. You know,
No, I
But,
mean
like-
the whole point is not to eat dry food. That's why
Yeah.
you pour the milk in.
True.
now
But
But
so-
it depends on the cereal, though. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, like, what about coffee, right? So I drink coffee and then I put cream in it. So rather than coffee first, then cream, what if I put the cream in the cup and then I put the cup in the Keurig and then I let it mix it in?
see
Same-
now
same
that
thing-
to me makes
same
more
thing.
sense. No, that would
I-
seem it would mix it for you while you're
Yeah.
going.
Yep.
Well, it's
I
like
do the
making
same thing.
chocolate milk. What if rather than the milk and then the chocolate syrup, I put the chocolate syrup in and then the milk on top of it?
Oh, you get
Well,
the
that's
same
vice
reaction
versa,
there.
though. You don't want to do that one because then the chocolate will stick to the bottom of the cup, and then you have to swirl that up.
That's like crossing the streams at Ghostbusters. You don't do that.
Yeah, but then the coffee, you do it all the time because we gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense because it just mixes it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, when you pour tea, do you put the hot water in first and then the bag, or do you put the bag in and pour the hot water on it?
Ooh, this is a good question for McLovin and Terry. You know, what is the appropriate way to have
Yeah.
tea and crumpets? Is it water then tea bag, or is it tea bag and then water? Like, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here, mostly because I hate tea. Like literally, it's brown, dirty water. Okay. Are you supposed to squeeze the tea bag at the end, or
Mm-mm.
no?
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
I want to hear from the appropriate parties involved on what you're actually supposed to do or not. So we'll have to report back on what the appropriate action is in that manner.
Well, so I don't have like a kettle, like a tea kettle, right? So my hot water comes from my coffee maker. And so it's just super easy while I'm waiting for the slow ass thing to drip, like drip hot water. I just throw the tea bag in there
Yeah.
and then I wait 2 minutes or whatever for the thing. And by the time my coffee or my hot water's done, then my tea's roughly done too. So
Mm.
it's a time saver, it's about saving time.
What if you just
Sure.
dump the cereal in your mouth and then the milk?
Then you're a serial killer.
No. What if you drink milk with breakfast with your cereal and it's just a bowl of cereal and you just spoon it into your mouth after you've filled your mouth full of milk?
Oh.
It really
What
comes down
defines it?
it really comes down to how crunchy do you want said cereal, right? Because if you want it like as crunchy as it could possibly be, I think take a drink of milk and then a dry spoonful of cereal. I think that would like be on it as best as possible. But I also think you'd be a serial killer.
Yeah,
Is-
but it depends. What cereal are you eating?
Yeah, wheat thins, not wheat
No.
thins. Whole grain wheat.
Frosted mini wheats.
There you
No.
go. This is
That's
how
what
much
I eat.
I
Frosted mini wheats.
that sounds delicious, but I haven't had. I'm back on the keto diet. We started that back up this week.
Ah.
Full bore. We basically never fully went off of it, but totally full bore back on it. Carbs sound
So no
delicious
Okay.
right now.
So with your keto diet, then, what are you making for dinner?
So tonight we had a sheet pan chicken, which is chicken sausage, basically like a kielbasa that's sliced thin. So there's 4 of those lengths that are thrown in there, all cut up. It's got broccoli, onion, and cut up zucchini, all on a
Hmm.
pan. Cook that thing for 20 to 30 minutes. Pull it out. It's got so you put avocado oil and it's got a whole bunch of paprika and one other spice. I can't remember what it is.
So do you cook the chicken first and then put the ingredients on it, or do you put the ingredients on it and then cook it?
Well, technically, the chicken sausage is already pre-cooked. So it's cooked, and then we cook it again. It's like a twice baked potato. You never know. But what, like, have you ever done like chocolate milk in cereal? Like that's a different order to do things in. You know?
I kind of want to try it, but I don't think I have.
Okay. And just because we're on a random weird kick about cereal, why does Cheerios smell like cat urine? Because to me, when somebody cracks open a box of Cheerios, it smells like cat pee, like just straight up, no lie.
I don't think you've smelled cat pee in a long time.
Oh no, I
Do you
have.
clean the litter box?
Oh yes, but and it's terrible, and it's way worse than Cheerios. But Cheerios has the same scent, fragrance of cat pee to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
Do you clean the cat box and then the cat in it, or does the cat in it and then you clean the cat box? Answer is both, because the cat has to in the box as soon as you're done. It's a law. All right. Let's get off of that.
Can I have one more actually?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we talk about peanut butter and jelly all the time.
Yes.
I think that was one of our very first episodes where we talked about peanut butter and jelly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure we already talked about this. Do you put the peanut butter on first on one side, and then on the other piece of bread you put the jelly? Or do you put the jelly on first and then stick the jelly in the peanut butter jar and to get your peanut butter?
No. This depends upon how lazy and disgusting you are side by side. Okay.
Or third option, do you do the peanut butter first and then slap the jelly on top of that same piece of bread with the peanut butter on it?
No, you're psychotic. Okay. Right? You always do the jelly first on the one slice, because the jelly is easier to get off of the knife, because I'm not going to get two knives out, and I'm also not going to dip the one ingredient into the other ingredient bin, because that's just a breeding ground for having food poisoning later on.
Asbestos.
Yeah, asbestos. So I do the jelly first, paper towel, wipe it off, and then do the peanut butter, because the jelly comes off way easier than the peanut butter. That's just me.
I get your logic. I do it completely the opposite. I do the peanut butter first and then jelly. But I'm going to try it tomorrow, and I'm going to do jelly first. But you don't grab a paper towel. You just use the other piece of bread to wipe off the knife, and then you go.
I know. I lived with you and your sister for 2 years, to where both of you love to have breadcrumbs into every single type of jar that exists. You open the tub of butter, and it's like, how come? Like, who had toast and put half of the thing of toast into this butter tub?
Who emptied the bag of bread?
Yeah.
Who emptied the crumbs into the jar?
Yeah, like let's take all the crumbs out of the toaster and just dump it into the butter jar. Anyway, I think Andy has a feeling on this whole entire topic.
Yeah, I don't do any of that, because that's psychotic. So 2 pieces of bread, each get peanut butter, then they get jelly.
God, you're the double peanut butter. You're the double. Yeah. See, this is why I'm different, because you guys double peanut butter it, which I get.
I do not double peanut butter. You better take me out of that situation.
Dude, your sister still has me convinced that it was your request that made the double peanut butter thing happen, because
only when you're gonna wait 4 or 5 hours to eat it.
That's my point. Like, it makes sense.
You make it right in front of you.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for everything.
All right.
This is not the place.
I'm 100% in agreement with you, because if it was like, a couple hours later, it makes logical sense to peanut butter both sides of it, so that way the jelly doesn't soak into the bread. But Andy's over there shaking his head. He's double peanut butter in it all the time.
It's nonsense.
Okay, so then answer me this question, Andy. Do you like peanut butter or jelly more?
Peanut butter.
That should be your answer. Okay.
But I mean, I love peanut butter, and I put a load of peanut butter on my peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
You just tried to beep yourself and you didn't work.
Missed.
My bad.
I'm glad Andy caught that too. We saw your arm go like this, like, and nothing happened.
Anyway, so I like a crap load of peanut butter, and I the one side is so thick. Katie's like, she can't even eat it. She's like, I don't know how you eat this. There's too much peanut butter. Anyway, all right. Last topic. I'm gonna spring this one on you. It was in the Discord, but not in the pre-show to talk about. Have you ever thought about how that we're celebrating the birthdays incorrectly? And
Okay.
what I mean by this, those deep thoughts by Jack Handy, is let's say it's your 39th birthday. Okay. We say you're turning 39 and you're celebrating that you're turning 39. It's not your 40th birthday. When in all reality, it's the death of your 39th year because you've made it around the sun the 39th time. You were starting your 40th year.
Yeah, because when you're born, you're not born at 1.
You're born at 0.
You're born at 0.
Yeah.
When you turn 1,
yeah, you're celebrating the previous
1
year.
year of being 1.
But that's not how everybody looks at it. Everybody looks at it as like, hey, I'm turning 39. It's like, well, no, but you're turning 39 and it's a celebration of your 39th year, but you are becoming 40. You're becoming the next one.
So on my 31st birthday, can I celebrate my 32nd?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I'm 32 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Sure.
You're on your 32nd time around the sun. And how we rate
past my 31st time around the sun, I am on my 32nd. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And we judge everything by the calendar year, which is based around going around the sun. So you are beginning your 32nd time around the sun.
See, my daughter looks at it from a slightly different angle. So she's going to turn 14 on Sunday. She's like, but I wasn't born at 0. I was alive for 9 months. So technically, I was 9 months old when I was born.
Wow.
Right? So like she came up with this one day and she was like, why do we do it this way? And I was like, well, you're not wrong. You didn't just hatch and like become this thing.
Correct. But you have to pick a moment in time. And a lot of people don't know exactly how long you are. Some people, right, were preemie babies and everything else, which is ironically sometimes why you see a massive difference in the size of kids when they're in first grade, right? It's like, wow,
Well, and I'm going to go really dark here, and this is not a joke at all, but sometimes you don't make it out. So you count life when you're out.
R.I.P. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, you went super dark. Sometimes you just don't make it out. The problem is that
it's not funny, but it's true. Sometimes you don't make it out.
I mean, but is it a you? Fair. Is it a you if it hasn't made it out alive?
Oh boy,
that's now we're deep.
So rabbit hole.
Now we are deep into Lola Bunny's territory.
I don't think this is an argument that you can win.
No, and it's also not an argument that really the slightly average guys probably should even be discussing. But I think it's a good topic to end on here.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, because we are all slightly average and probably shouldn't averagely be talking about this. So,
go out with a bang.
Yeah,
you want me to switch topics here?
I mean, if you got another one, you can go ahead and go. I was out.
Just real quick.
Don't end it on a bad note.
I think it's really weird. Thanksgiving is a beautiful time. Tons of food, tons of beer, tons more food after you just ate and had one beer. So if Thanksgiving meals are so great, why do we only have them once a year?
Well, that's just saying, why don't you cook more?
But, you don't cook mashed potatoes all the time. You don't cook a whole turkey, but yeah, you're feeding a whole bunch of people. But think about all the desserts. You don't cook that cranberry garbageness or stuffing.
That's because we are the three of us are not on my 800-pound life. That's why. I mean, there are people that do.
Yeah, true.
Right?
But
true.
Nothing is stopping you from having that menu any day of the year.
Yeah. Anytime you want, other than you end up with 487 dishes.
Yeah.
To wash.
Gosh.
That's the major reason.
I blame you. You're the one that chose normal dishes, not plates.
The plates weren't what made it a lot of dishes. It's everything that it takes to make it.
To cook everything.
Yeah.
Especially, oh my gosh, cooking. You know how many times you have to wash your hands when you cook from a raw something?
If you're doing it the correct way,
if you're doing it by yourself, your hands are going to be so dry by the end of the time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
can I secretly confess something on this show right now? To you two. I think Thanksgiving's my least favorite holiday.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's underneath underneath like Father's Day, which really isn't.
Is that even a holiday?
No, somehow like
That's just a Sunday.
like
Like Happy Sunday.
Mother's Day, you're like trying to think of, like things that you got to do, and how to make it like, hey, you're gonna have this spa day, mom, you've been around everybody all the time, let's have some you time or everything. Father's Day, it's like, hey, yeah, great, you're gonna cook a meal because we know you love grilling and this and that. Which that statement's not false, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so everything's still on my shoulders, and we're gonna go to the zoo and spend the time with everybody. It's like, wait, so there's no me time. Is
I
my
think
point.
what's great about Thanksgiving though is you get 2 days off of work.
Oh yeah,
Most people.
I'm not hating
does.
on that,
One.
but yes.
But mostly you get 2 days off work. Football's on. It's just a reason to eat and not work out and then drink a bunch of beer.
Yeah, I'm not
Do I like
hating on
the Thanksgiving part of it. No.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the beer, the food, and the football. The BFFs. I'm in it for the BFFs, baby.
BFFs. All right. Well, it's a better note to end on with that. And we appreciate everybody joining us. And like, follow, subscribe, share it with your buddies, your friends, your dogs, their brothers, sisters, cousins, former roommate. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just get the word out there.
Everybody.
And we just appreciate you guys joining us. And we